Hi everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're watching me for the first time, I go by the name of Gift Somakwabe, also known as Somake. Unfortunately, you will not be seeing my face in this video because it's more of a lecture type of video. So before we get into that, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, comment, click the notification bell, and let me know what you think of this video. So another admin note is that I have started tutoring sessions for internal audit students from first year to honors level that need assistance in their studies. I have posted it in the community page. If you need assistance, you are welcome to email me, send me a DM, or complete the Google form, and we can discuss the whole process. Unfortunately, it is not free, but the prices are affordable to assist you with your studies. So let's get into the video. I'll be doing part one today where I'll just be looking at the first half of the definition with regards to independent and objective assurance, the assurance and consulting activity, and designed to add value and improve an organization's operations. And then in the second part, I'll be tackling the remaining of the definition. So I've seen that students really struggle with internal audit as a whole, but it starts from your foundation. What do you actually know about the definition? What does the definition mean to you? And that's what I'll be looking at today. So I'll take you through basically like a real-time lecturing way. I'll actually type everything out as I speak so that you can actually see and think the way I'm thinking and understand what I'm trying to say to you. So the first thing is, what is internal auditing? It is an independent, objective assurance and consulting activity designed to add value and improve an organization's operations. It may help an organization accomplish its objectives by bringing a systematic, disciplined approach to evaluate and improve the effectiveness of risk management, control, and governance processes. So the first part for me would be it is independent and it is an objective assurance. So I would ask myself, what is what is independent and what is objectivity? Let's put it at objectivity. Okay, so with these two, right? Um, I would then just have a short summary where I know independency, it's more like being free from conflict of interest, right? So this means that you shouldn't be somebody that is related to a sister, brother, or married to someone and you're auditing that client. Okay, so with objectivity, it's more of being free from bias, from being biased. Yeah. So that means that you should not be easily not influenced by anything. So you shouldn't be influenced because a client has decided to give you a gift, and that gift could affect your objectiveness when you're actually doing your work, right? And now another pointer I'd like to add to you for you is that when it comes to objectivity and independency, here's a free tip that I'd like you to take with you, right? Um, independency is for you. No, sorry, independency is for the team, okay? And objectivity is for you as the internal auditor. Let me just reduce this font here. Is for you as the internal auditor. So what do I mean by this actually? If we look at the standard, right? If we look at standard 1000, it speaks to independency and objectivity. Okay, so standard 1000 says that the internal audit activity, which is the IAA, must be independent and objective. Okay, and objective Oh, and it says, yeah, and internal auditors must be objective in performing their work. Okay. You'll excuse my typing. So there's already a section in the standards that's telling you how internal auditors should be, right? So you've already understood the simple basic definition of independency and objectivity. And now you know that there's a standard, which is 1000, relating to independency and objectivity. So now you'd ask yourself, what is 1000? So it's basically your attribute standards. So your attribute standards, right? Which is your 1000 series. And you want to understand what is 1000 series, what is attribute gift. So it speaks to the characteristics of an internal auditor. So remember, I'm not giving you the exact definition and stuff. I'm just giving you an idea for you to understand, just a breakdown. So it's the characteristics of the internal auditor, right? And standard 1100 speaks to your independency. Oh, I'm struggling to spell independency and objectivity. Right. So you should know that under your 1000 series would have 1100, 1200, and so forth. So you already now able to cover so much because you understand what is objectivity, what is independency, where does it come from in the standards, how is it related to me as the team, to the team and to you as an internal auditor, and then you'd be able to say, okay, the substandard would be standard 1100. Okay, if you have any questions on this, please let me know. Now on to assurance and consulting activities. So with assurance and consulting activities, it tells us what kind of activities we do in internal audit. So we do assurance and consulting engagements, right? You've noticed with assurance, okay, we have something that looks like A1 in the standards. Okay, that speaks to your assurance. And with assurance, we have, it's an objective examination, the correct definition that it says, and I'll break it down to say we want to see that the controls are effective. Effective are the controls of the organization. Okay, so that is what you would want to see with assurance. And when I speak to the type of audit we're doing, we're looking at the financial side, we're looking at performance auditing, we're looking at compliance audit, etc. So the list can go on and on and on and on. Those are the different types of audit that you would give. So if I could give an example of one of the audits that you do is, let's say we're looking at a compliance audit. You'd want to see maybe the adherence to the COVID protocols. Okay. You want to see that are they complying to the COVID protocols. So you'd have the COVID Act or whatever that the government has released, or the procedures, the policies that they've placed in, that everyone must wear a mask and stuff. So you'd go and observe the workers in the workplace. Are they actually wearing a mask and all of that? So that would be like your compliance audit. And then your consulting activity. It's more of the client seeks advice from you, right? And you are there to add insight. So you give insight, You give insight on what they would like consultation on. Okay. Right. So with this one, the client can come to you and say, all right, perhaps you want to have a new accounting system to be installed, and they're not sure how to go about it. So you would give an opinion on, not an opinion, sorry, you would give advice in terms of, okay, I think you should go about it this way. There could be risks. You could face maybe hacking because the technology, or it's more expensive to do it yourself. You need to hire an expert, that type of advice. And then with consulting here, in your standards, you'd see that it's labeled as C1. So everything that is C1 would speak to your consulting activity. Right. So when it comes to the last part of this sentence, you need to understand that as internal auditors, we add value, right? That is what we do. So a lot of students tend to confuse internal auditors and external auditors. With external auditors, guys, they give an opinion on the financial statement. They express an opinion, right? So we add value. So at the end of the audit engagement, okay, at the end of the audit engagement, we provide recommendations, right? So remember, we want to see that other controls working assurance. So we do an assurance activity, we provide recommendations to management so that they can decide on what to implement. I'm saying decide what to implement because sometimes management is really quite stubborn. You give them a recommendation and you might find that they do not actually do it. Okay, so that's where you have to come in and do the whole following up and stuff. So this is why in your standards you'll see the section monitoring the progress, which is standard 2500. So with the monitoring of the progress, we want to see, as internal auditors, we want to see if management is implementing what we have recommended. So with this one, you already have an advantage because I've sort of shown you or given you an idea of what to expect in the standards as well, that there's your 2500 series. So we add value. We do a whole assurance activity. We look at the financial side or performance, compliance, whatever type of auditing you're doing, operational. And then, okay, we come and say, this is what your controls look like. This is what your objectives look like. It's not being aligned. You need assistance here. You need to work on this. And management will decide, okay, we're going to implement 1, 2, 3. When they say they're going to implement this maybe in the next 6 months, we need to come and monitor the progress and see what they've implemented. Because at the end of the day, something needs to be done so that they can achieve their objectives. So we improve the organization's operations, as the definition says, by testing. Yeah, by testing, right? So you know that we do our testing, your inspection and all of that, and I'll cover that in the next video. So we do the testing of documentation and all of that, and it is linked to the GRC, which is known as your governance, risk, and control. So GRC is part of the standards. That's another thing you should know, right? And it is under the performance section. So remember here, I told you that we have attribute standards, which is standard 1000. And now we have performance standards, which is your 2000 series. So everything under 2000, for example, your monitoring of progress, it speaks to the way we need to do our work. So it is the nature of the work we need to perform as internal auditors. So it'll tell you how you should operate, how you should test, and your information needs to be reliable and all of those things. So I will not go in depth with that because I will cover that in the next part of the video. But this is basically what you need to know in the first part of the definition. So if you have any questions, guys, please do not hesitate to contact me. Feel free to ask questions in the comment section, and I'll see you guys in the next video. I will be posting the next part in the coming weeks, so please be on the lookout for that. And I hope I managed to give you more insight on this definition. Thank you so much.